All right, well, good evening, everyone. Warren Select Board meeting, August 11th.
Are you recording, Joel?
Yes.
Okay.
We are recording. Hello to those on Zoom and in the room. Hi. Do we have any public comment this evening? No. Okay, Perry, where are you when we need you? How about agenda changes?
I wanted to add executive session,
Okay.
quick
For-
discussion, personnel.
And then you wanted to add the library proposal.
Yeah, under other business, I'd like to just touch base on the VIA contract for the library. VIA? How do they say that? Do you know, is it VIA or VIA?
They kept referring to them as VIA.
VIA,
So,
okay. Great, all right, let's begin. Green Mountain Stage Race. Hello again. Gary, please
Sorry, I'm
join
standing.
us.
I'll come sit down now.
You don't have to sit if you're more comfortable standing, you're
My back
welcome.
has been.
Do you want to
not
stay
so great.
standing?
No,
You're
it's fine. I
welcome
can
to.
sit for some little period of time.
I know that.
Might not be able to stand back up
Oh,
again.
so
but,
comfortable.
We'll help you. We have hands to help. I know that pain well, so feel free. Okay, so last you were here, we were talking about some of the trials and tribulations of the
Yes.
stage race and what we can do to alleviate them.
Yes, and so I did send a letter on August 11th. I see some of you have it, or maybe I'll
Yep.
have it. Just outlining some of the steps I thought that we could take in response to the comments that were heard.
Yep.
But I did want to, just have more conversation around some of them, just to clarify. One, I wonder, want to be sure they're adequate, and just go through them. So
Yeah.
I know there were concern about parking on West Hill Road. We could put no parking signs up there fairly intensely, just, going up and over the bridge to try to address that. I did drive over, I came on Ellen, today just to go on there. I hadn't heard complaints about that, but I don't know if it would be desirable to put no parking signs up there as well.
I wonder, well, let's talk about the parking on West Hill. You want to start one at a time and go through them?
Sure,
Or do you
well-
want to run through?
well,
I
I
read
just
it,
thought-
I think the board has probably read
Sure.
everything.
So, I'd just be, if you've read the whole letter, and we can go through each item, but,
Yeah.
so West Hill Road was the first one, but I
Right.
mentioned, Ellen, just because it's,
It's so
joins to
close.
it, it's right there.
Yeah.
Again, I've never had any complaints or heard any complaints about it, anybody parking on there, but
Where do people park?
So
Where do we
people-
plan for them to park?
people park at Sugar Bush, and then ride down, which generated some of the complaints. We did talk, I mentioned to Rebecca, maybe the road work could still be ongoing, and then nobody would ride down that road because the road would be closed. So maybe that's a possibility, just to keep people from riding down there. People park at public access spots. So one thing about the event, say different than like the 4th of July parade or even the marathon, is that everybody doesn't start at once. So it's over, we have this group of people that are coming, but they're racing over 6 or more hours. And so they go one at a time. Their race takes, less than 20 minutes, and then they ride back, and then they leave.
Yeah.
And then other people come and ride. So a racer's starting basically every 30 seconds during the race. So it's there's a large group of people, but they're not all here at once. They're just here start first thing in the morning. We don't use a PA system or anything like that during the race. Peter uses his voice loudly to make sure the racers line up properly, and the officials too, but I don't think you can hear that very far into town.
No, I don't think so.
So that's so anyway, that's sort of how the day goes.
So they make use of smaller portions of parking because they're filtering through.
Yep, and we have
Very
people,
good.
they can park on any of the pullouts along Route 100.
Yeah.
At the Sugar Bush Snowmaking Pond, that's, more public parking. I do know some people park at the Park and Ride in town, and apparently some people park up here. I haven't been up here to see for a number of years, but some people park up here as well. But I guess, again, back to West Hill Road. So if we put up the parking signs, or no parking signs on there, and maybe that would be something the board could do too, is I'll make that a designated no parking zone for towing. And I don't know if I'll have a tow company come, but, we could call somebody, but I don't want to tow people illegally, and, have somebody get towed away, that it's not, where it's a legal place to park, even if we say no parking.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's something you would consider, making it a, no parking zone, tow zone for that one day. That, maybe would be helpful. And I would put on the signs, which I'd have made, just this is no parking, tow, you could be towed,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
So that's. a thought on that.
Jeff, did you hear that about
Yep.
towing? What does that mean? Is that something we can do?
Not really, because unless there's specifically signs that say no parking,
Tow zone?
owner could be towed at owner's expense.
Yeah,
That's the only way you're gonna do it.
Well, but I think
because
Gary just said that he would put up
Yeah, I'd make,
signs,
But-
that- or they have to be like legal
Right.
warrant
They have to
signs.
be legal.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
The
see.
no parking is one thing, because like Rotary does it for, you know, the 4th of July, but you really can't, I mean, that's the hard part, is that
Yeah.
you really can't tow them real easily, so.
okay, so we're not towing.
okay, so I could say subject to towing and not tow anybody, but maybe that would scare people away. I don't know.
I think that the no parking signs
Okay.
are, you know,
All right,
a
that's-
good idea.
okay.
I was wondering,
Devin, by the way,
Yeah.
I assume that this problem on West Hill Road is only on the morning of the race, right?
well, that's what I was just gonna ask, is if there would be any benefit in having the no parking signs up a little bit earlier?
Sure, we can put them up earlier, it's
And
even
that,
easier.
even if it's not from people parking there earlier, it gives them more opportunity to know that they can't
Sure,
park there
yeah.
when they're driving
Yeah.
around, instead of expecting that they can and being late and
Yeah,
being like,
yeah.
oh, shoot,
Yeah.
I have to.
I could, if you wanted, I could put no parking by the order of Town of Warren on there. Maybe that would make it seem more official. I don't know. I mean, I'll have the signs printed, and we have no parking signs, but probably not enough to cover every place we want to cover.
Gary, when they register, they obviously they register probably already, but they don't have to do anything once they get here, correct?
No, so we do number packet pickup at the meeting house in Waitsfield.
Can
So
you
they
do it
do-
where they have to register a vehicle?
But they have
That way the
to,
license plates are there, so if somebody parks illegally, you say, all right, well, this license plate matches this, and do it that way.
yeah, no, that would, I mean, just because of the numbers, I think it'd be hard and to say, people, tell us what vehicle you're driving in, your license plate. I just think that, and a lot of people have rental cars, and I don't know, I just think that's maybe overly complicated. I'm hoping the signs would be enough, and, just.
I think that's an interesting thought for a future date. It feels late in the game to initiate now, but might be something to add in the registration process.
Okay.
Even for you, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We get a lot of, get a bunch of information, but it's fairly automated. If they have a racing license and they're already on the site that
Yeah.
has registration, it's pretty quick. They just pick their name and pay the fee, and they're
Yeah.
registered for the race. So just try not to make it more complicated. I
Well,
can
there
ask
is
them to include
there is
another
a level of accountability if there's a problem with a particular vehicle and you know whose vehicle that is. I think even if they know that
You
other
know.
people know whose vehicle it is, there could be some incentive to behave in a more civil manner.
Well, I know there was a complaint about it, but I don't think it's a massive problem where there are, 100 cars parked up and down West Hill Road. I think it didn't sound like there was, and even looking over there, it was a few cars. So, there's not room on that side of the bridge for that many cars anyway. And it sounded like it was only on one side of the road. So, they weren't obstructing the traffic, but again, I think putting the signs up would be one way to just to try to deter people. And I'll put it in the, letter that I send out to them, and I can, in the tech guide as well, that you can't park there, but also the letter, just welcome to the race letter, just make it clear that there's no parking
Yeah.
on that
That
road.
sounds sufficient to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, and then I didn't put in here Ellen Road, but do you have thoughts on that, or?
I don't. Do you guys?
I'm just curious if it makes sense to have more of just a localized parking spot, like where they
Where they
where
park.
they should just the school, or I don't know what's available.
Sounds
but
like that Sugar Bush.
Well, school is in session on that day, so instead of, having a bunch of vehicles up there and try to park up there, I just thought better stay away from there.
Yeah.
Some people may park up there, but it's hard to know. I don't
Not
think
one
it's
you
very
want to
many.
promote, you're right.
Right, yeah, I
their
don't want to
session.
promote it.
Yeah.
Right, so,
When Gary was talking about, this sort of sequence of fields that go out on Friday,
Yeah,
I'd say the average field, Gary, would you say it's about somewhere around 60 if you average out all the fields? And I'd say typically they're no more than about 3 fields at a time, or once they finish their race, they go. They may be warming up a little bit before their field. So typically, I wouldn't think you'd be talking about more than, say, 150 to 200 cars at
so
a time.
that's well suited to the Sugar Bush lots,
yeah.
but it's far away.
No, they have bikes, and they're here to race,
Yeah.
and they want to warm up before. So
Okay.
riding down West Hill Road isn't exactly much of a warm up, but some people will just park up there. That's certainly an option. Or at the snowmaking pond, there's a bunch of parking, or any of the other swim hole, parking lots are
Yeah.
available for people.
I
to
just
park in.
wonder, I guess, because you asked later on about parking in these lots as well, and recognizing that they are public and also kind of at capacity usually in a given day anyway, is there value in saying like, please avoid parking in the town center?
Sure. Yep, but we can also put up, block one of the entrances in and out of the parking lot we have a company that provides hard fence. Put fence on one way and then, put no parking, no racer parking signs, town business only or something at the other
Well, I
side. Just
don't
keep
want it
below.
to, I think one of the reasons I think it's important to leave the parking spaces open is so that people who are visiting the race can come, they can go to the Warren store, it jams up parking for people who are coming and going.
Sure.
As opposed to just like being stationarily parked. Do you
Right,
get what I'm
right.
saying?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people that are coming to the Warren store are people here for the race. I had talked to George about that specifically. It's certainly a busy day for the
Yeah.
Warren store.
Yeah, that's what I mean, and making sure that
Yeah,
that's available
yeah,
and
yeah.
in and out.
But they may
traffic.
come, a junior racer may come with his mom and dad and look for a place to park. They don't have their bikes necessarily. Okay, I want to park near where your start is. Well, there isn't really parking, a great
Yeah.
spot for you to park near the start because there just isn't a lot of parking.
Okay.
So I don't know how they make it work, but they always seem to make it work. And as was mentioned in the meeting before, the town offices have been closed that day. They used to not be. I mean, they'd be open, and then some years it was decided, I think when Cindy was here, that would be closed. But that's, and that's not any requirement we need. Whatever works best for you, whatever works best for the town, is fine. So we were
I
just.
think we're trying to find what works best for all here.
Yeah, right.
Well, and we have to keep, we're designated to keep, I think it's 10 parking spots for the employees of the Pitcher Inn and the
Oh,
store.
I didn't know that. Oh,
Up
okay.
here, yeah. I mean, we
Okay.
can, it's hard to encourage them to park at the park and rides. Typically, that's what we do
Sure.
when there's an event up here,
Sure.
but if a lot of your racers are gonna be there,
And I haven't seen that there's a lot of racer parking up here, but I guess we'll, be checking more this year. But happy to, block off one of those ways through and then put up signs just saying no racer parking and see how that goes.
We do have people at the start, including myself, who
Yeah.
can, periodically be up here and check in.
We have a bunch of people in town.
Anyway,
Yeah.
because they're not allowed, none of the riders are allowed to park in town. So we have, like
So you've
now-
already communicated that to them?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
it's in the race Bible.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and we'll remind them. of
Yes,
that.
Jeff.
I think Joel had brought up Ellen Lane.
I did.
Oh, okay. I would not recommend there being any parking on Ellen Lane,
Yeah.
just because A, it's hard enough getting out of Ellen Lane, because that's just a whole other issue. But I just would, if you just made that whole area no parking, which would probably just be a lot easier.
Sure, and that's what I was offering. I mean, again,
Right.
there've never been any complaints about it, but I just, we're gonna order no parking signs. I can just order 80 or 100 and, put them on stakes, and we can put them up there a day or two before the race and be sure that's covered as well.
Gary, you might also talk to the Rotary, because they already have them pre-made.
Oh, they,
And then
okay,
on stakes, and they might let you borrow
okay,
them,
yeah,
or a donation.
yeah, well,
Great.
either way, yeah, we get lots of them, so that's fine.
Okay,
So,
so
and
West
also
Hill,
then the-
Allen Lane,
yeah,
and then as
and
far
then-
as the village,
I'll just,
is there, the only thing that's missing from this proposal that I was expecting to see was some kind of letter to participants, some communication to participants about
Well, that-
behavior and.
well, we will, I mean, that letter will go out right before, it goes out after registration closes. There's no
Okay.
letter now because people are still registering.
I'm not saying I expected to see the
Oh,
letter,
okay,
but
yeah, yeah.
rather
Oh,
there's no
that is-
indication
Sure, yeah,
of sort of a message to the riders
Yeah.
that there have been significant complaints about,
yeah,
decorum and
sure. Well, that'll
behaviors,
go out to the.
and to please
yeah.
be respectful of residents and their lawns and,
I'll be
that.
sure that's in the letter that goes out to them, just welcoming them to the race.
Yeah,
And just letting
yeah.
them know the situation. So, I mean, that's the right time to do it because at that point registration is closed and I know everybody who's coming, so.
Yeah, and it's fresh in their mind.
Sure, yeah, it'll be right, it's only a few days before they arrive.
Right.
So that'll be fine. Yep, we'll do that.
okay.
So another thing that just seems like we just should say that school's in session, please don't park up at the school.
Yeah, and it has, It's never been an
Yeah.
issue, right?
Might as well put it in.
That I know of. I mean, obviously there's lots of parking near the tennis courts or down around the fields, but I've never heard of people parking up there. But we'll put it in there too.
I mean, I don't see why people couldn't park on the
Yeah,
other side.
I think it's
Down by
fine
the
as long
tennis
as they
courts.
stay out of the school parking
Yeah. Okay.
lots.
All right.
You know, the ones that are close to the school.
Sure, yeah, the paved
I-
lots
I
by the
think-
school, yeah.
I think the rest of that area is probably a
Yeah.
good place to park.
Okay.
Realistically, and
Yeah.
there's lots of space there, but don't pop a tire. And what did we decide about the town offices? What do you guys think?
Well, it seems like we're supposed to have 10 spaces open for the picture in, and it would make sense to have just sort of, you know, the lot open for people to be able to do business up here, so.
Okay.
You know,
Just,
Yeah.
I guess, a reminder not to
Yeah, and open
park
up
in the
signs.
village.
Is it okay to close off one of the two roads that come up to here? And I mean, just be clear that way. We'd have a green fence go across that says no parking, no racer parking, and the other side just have signs on both sides of the road saying no racer parking. Or we can just put up signs, whatever you prefer.
Mr. Safety?
I mean, I think if they put up one, I think those are roughly 8 feet long, or are they 10
Yes,
feet long?
no, 8 feet long. I think
Yeah,
our
so if you
6 feet.
put one up on closer to the cement wall, then at least it makes it more one-way traffic. So I think and then if there's a sign up that says no racer parking, I think that would work.
Because the library will still be open.
Right,
Problem solved.
No,
Sorry,
because
what
it
was
kind of
that,
gets
Bob?
hard there, whereas if you put it up higher, it makes it a little more, at least there, if somebody
I
does
think
come up,
up
they don't
higher
take
is
it out.
good because it's hard to turn into the other entrance.
Right.
From, like, if you're headed south, it's hard to turn into that southern entrance for a larger vehicle or a truck.
So just want to be clear which one of the two. The one closest to the fire department is the one the fence would be at?
Yes, but
Fire.
Jeff is suggesting further up, like after the split,
Okay.
so that it creates.
As long as they can see it from the bottom, so someone doesn't pull up there and say, oh, no, I have to back out of here.
Well,
They drove up to the top.
they would be able to turn down the other entrance,
Okay,
if that were the
As
case.
long as the car can get by is the biggest thing.
okay, all right.
Devin, Dana, last time we met, seemed to think it was happening, there were things were happening that she didn't like,
Yeah,
on Wednesday and Thursday before the race.
right.
So when should we do this? When should we set it up
Yeah.
on the Wednesday before the race, Tuesday, or what's your thinking?
Well, I don't know, that's.
I wanted the
piece
fence
that-
then, and we could just put signs up then. The fence doesn't come till like the day before, but we could put signs up.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels a bit odd because it is a public lot and we do want people to be able to use the lot, but we don't want it completely inundated, so that's a tough one. I'm not sure. What do you guys think?
I think if you did it Thursday, it would be enough.
And maybe there's some language in your letter about, that this is a public space and this is the town hall and,
That they shouldn't park up here, is that? Yeah.
that maybe they don't camp out here all day,
Yeah,
kind of thing,
okay.
Please don't park for extended
Yeah.
periods of time
Right.
in the municipal lots. The library's open.
I don't see a ton of people on like Tuesdays and Wednesdays, so. I mean, it's usually Thursday, they're usually going up Brook Road, and that's normal because that's time trial route, so.
So should we do the signs and the fence on Thursday then? Why don't you do that?
Yeah, I don't know if he'll have the fence here early enough on Thursday, but we can put the
Okay,
signs up.
well,
but
whatever
yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah,
do,
yeah.
that sounds good.
Sounds reasonable to me.
When's Jim drop off the fences?
On Thursday,
On Thursday in the afternoon?
yeah,
Yeah.
Maybe that's perfect.
yeah, okay. Okay, there was a
Riders on the
concern
wrong
on the
side
wrong
of the
side
road.
on the bridge on West Hill Road. Again, if West Hill Road was closed, that would prevent that, but we can put signs
Do you
up just
want to
saying.
close West Hill to riders? Or is that what you're suggesting, Gary? Because we can do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, it's closed now, I saw.
Closed right now.
It's closed now, that's what I saw when I went by. It's like, oh, I've seen the messages and reports for it.
I
so
would
knew it was gonna be
imagine it's
closed.
relatively fun to ride that road.
Yeah, of course, it's fun, but you end up, it's very fast. And I think that's really what happens. People come down, they don't know the road.
Yeah.
They come down and they find themselves are going really fast.
Yeah.
And then you get to the bottom and it's like, wow, that bridge goes really sharply in the other direction. It'd be easier to go
Yeah.
on Ellen Lane than it would be to make
Right.
that turn.
Right.
And I think that's why people ended up on the wrong side of the road. I don't think they would do that if there was a vehicle coming, but
Well,
there's
who
no.
knows? If they're going too fast, it might be.
Right, yeah.
oh,
So we
shit,
can
it's too
put
late.
up some signs saying, we have signs that say narrow bridge or, caution narrow bridge for people that are coming down
Yeah.
there. Stay right, sort of thing. So we
Okay.
can put those up.
Does that, should I imply from that they don't really read the road signs?
No, they do. I think you'd just be surprised. I
Yeah.
think,
Like
we've had
any
people
I don't
come.
see signs.
I mean,
Yeah.
in a few years ago, we had cyclists that were, I mean, even a local guy, very badly hurt coming down Lincoln Gap Road on their bicycles. There are lots of signs up there warning cyclists that it's really steep
Right.
and you should use caution, but it doesn't take very much to end up going too fast and be off the road
Yeah.
and into a tree. So, fortunately that hasn't happened on West Hill Road, but the complaint was that, there were riders who were, going on the wrong side of the bridge, and I certainly understand how it can happen, so we'll try to get them to slow down and
Yeah.
be on the right side.
Yeah, let's
Well,
avoid
and so I
that.
think that goes, so the racers traveling over 25 miles an hour down Brook Road, it's also 25, right?
Yeah.
Coming down West Hill? Yeah. So,
Yeah.
So a general note in your letter about abiding by the
Yeah, well, that would be part of it.
speed
sure, yeah,
limits.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll put those signs up too, before the race, just warns the racers that there's gonna be a hard turn at the bottom of the road. So again, we've been fortunate, they're all probably pretty talented riders, but we don't want anyone to crash, whether it's into the, a tree or the guardrail or anything else. So
Yeah, yeah.
that'd be fine.
or another vehicle.
Right, or a vehicle,
Right.
right, exactly.
Okay, and Tom is here with us on
Yes.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Tom, are you comfortable with
I'm sure, I don't think he has seen this. Unless you sent.
No, I did send him an email, I don't know
with
if
the
he got
way
it, but-
that Gary has usually fenced off your parking spot? Are you good with that? Do you have anything you would request further?
He's on mute. He's,
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I have no objections. Gary's done a good job. I mean, people move his barricades and, but I mean, they've made a good effort in the past. I would even offer, if he knows of a vendor who's setting up or a race team that wants to take responsibility for my property, if they contact me, I could, I don't, if I knew somebody was watching it and set up their race team van there, which they're going to do anyway, they set up vans in the town's right of way, I'd be amenable to that. But no, I've been fairly happy with Gary's effort, and I have no objection.
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, great.
Right, I see, at least in the print I had there, it didn't print out too well. Over 25 miles an hour, again, we'll put that in the letter to the racers, but also, put up some slow down signs coming back into town.
Yeah,
and-
so,
yeah.
I have a question. I have two questions. One, what about speed bumps?
I think they'll be fine.
It's all
Yeah,
gonna be
I'll
okay?
put warning in there about the speed
Okay.
bumps as well. Yeah, I mean, I think they're not as far, I mean, not that far up, but yeah, they'll definitely, I'll put that, that's a good reason for the
They're
notes.
within the 25 mile an hour signs,
Sure,
and
yeah,
there
yeah.
is a sign of a bicyclist crashing.
Yeah.
But
one did, yeah.
we really don't want that to
Sure.
happen.
Sure, yeah, no, I don't want it to happen either.
Yeah.
And I think, one thing other towns have said to me that they like about the race is it has a traffic calming effect. Jeff is out there for the day, so he can attest to the fact that people go a lot less than 25 on
Yeah,
that day.
yeah,
In any
this
event,
is
because we're
true.
stopping them every 30 seconds, so that does slow the traffic
is
down.
true.
So I'll be sure we put up, again, signs to remind them to slow down and mention the speed bumps.
Yeah,
that's the
maybe in
thing.
your
Speed bump
your
signs.
post-registration letter, I would just warn everyone,
Yeah.
hey, big
They're
change
new.
from last
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
There are 5 new speed bumps
Yeah, okay.
along Main Street and Brook
Yeah,
Road.
all right, yeah, I definitely will mention that.
When are the new ones getting put in?
Oh, there's more?
We haven't had a date yet, but we've signed a
They're
contract.
being redone,
Oh,
so
okay.
that they're like,
Are they gonna
right.
be bigger or
they'll
same places?
They'll be the same places. They'll be similar to the tables that are still here.
Okay,
The tables, there's no problem
Great.
with people.
Good.
Yeah, with the
Good.
bikes.
The hope is that there should be no problem for anyone.
Yeah, I mean, it slows cars down, but,
Yeah.
it's not a danger to bicycle.
Good, good.
so again, on there was a comment made, and I don't know if it was more up here by the town office that she was referring, or was prior to the race, that, sometimes races are changing into
Yeah.
their team jerseys or other things.
I don't really know
No,
what one
okay.
can do about that.
Okay,
I don't-
yeah, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, there's
We'll
not even
pass
like
on
a
it.
public ordinance or law in Vermont that,
Well, you're not allowed to get naked in public in the state of Vermont, but if you leave your house naked, that's okay.
I don't think that she was saying that people were getting naked, said half naked, so, I mean, I think people were changing their shirts or.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
like drive
I don't
down
know.
Route
I was
100 and
just in
glance at the
Hawaii,
creek,
and people
like-
are barely wearing clothes.
I've seen everything.
Yeah. And then portable toilets, so we do have those, I try to have them so they're just not, they're not the most beautiful to look at, so we don't have them put out, days and days in advance. Also, I don't want, if we have a lot of them up in advance, then, people, they get used, basically. But I'm happy to, change the schedule, and they
When do you usually?
usually have them put out on Thursday. But it's up to, I'll work with the company, it's Wednesday or Thursday that they come and put them out. One year, they just didn't bother to put them out at all. That was a whole other issue, but.
It's very frustrating.
Yep.
Well, what do you, Jeff, you probably see more of this than the rest of us.
I
Brian.
mean, probably if they went up Wednesday, it'd probably be a little bit better,
Okay,
but, I mean,
Or Thursday morning.
Thursday morning,
I
yeah.
think that if they're there by Thursday morning,
Okay.
right? If that's like late Wednesday afternoon or early Thursday morning,
yeah,
that's probably sufficient.
that's what I'll ask them to do. And hopefully, that year I asked them to put them in, they didn't put them in at all, they didn't do it, so hopefully they'll do what they're supposed to
The world is an
do.
unpredictable
Yeah.
place, and please let us know if something like that happens.
I will,
So that we
that wasn't a great situation.
And
Send out a big apology letter to everyone, even
Right.
though I tried.
I think your letters of support are wonderful
Oh, thank you, yeah.
and appreciated. Guys, anything else you have that you'd like to discuss or ask for or ensure is done in a certain way?
All looks good to me.
We appreciate you putting this together.
Oh, I appreciate you taking the time. I've been here, for 3 meetings you've had to see me, so you won't have to see me again at least for a little while.
By the way, just as one small aside, where the most racers congregated together is obviously on Flatiron Road where the start is, and that's where all the action is.
Yeah.
And a day or two before the race, I go to each one of the houses, there are not that many obviously, on Flatiron, and everybody is now, particularly, a couple were a little upset when it started, but now everybody's on board. And so everybody on Flatiron Road is perfectly happy to, some are really enthusiastic about actually having the
Yeah.
race, so.
There are only, what, 2 permanent residents there anyway?
Well, there's Lucy, there's the one at the end, but the guy's been renting for a long time, at least the last couple of years.
Yeah.
They keep the picture in
The picture in
on the
hell.
other side, and
Yep.
then Lucy has 2 houses.
Right.
And then Whitney's.
Yeah, that's about it. And Whitney has
Whitney has a shop there.
his shop
His
there.
shop,
And,
Yeah.
So, anyway, they're all supportive of the race.
Great.
So,
Great. So if it's okay, I'll have to bring you a check this week as well.
Well, do we have a motion to approve the Green Mountain Stage Race Festival permit
I make a motion?
September 4th and 6th? 4 through 7, right? But
Yeah.
here only really
It's on the 4th, and then on the
6th.
6th, it's just up the access, the one field goes up the
Right.
access road.
But it really mostly affects
Just,
Warren on the 4th
just on
and
the
the
4th,
6th.
yeah.
Was that a motion?
Yep.
Do we have a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Go forth, Henry.
Great, well, I will, I'll drop the check off, but, we'll check in after the race and see how it went, and
Yeah.
hopefully it went fine. I said this because I've been to, over the 25 years of the race, been to many select board meetings, and I always thank the boards for giving us permission, and I always say too that you likely get complaints. I know if I gave away free money, I'd get complaints too, that I didn't give somebody enough of it.
True.
So, it's, from that perspective, we'll do all we can to try to keep the peace and, make it a pleasant day for everybody, really.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Gary, I wonder if you would potentially consider sending us a copy of your little
Oh, sure.
letter?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that way we can say, hey, whether it's before or after, at least
Sure.
we have sort of a
Sure,
reference
absolutely.
point
Yeah,
for how things go and if
Yeah.
it works or not.
Yeah, no, I hope the letter, again, the racers, I hope the racers read it. We always wonder, you write a lot of things and you hope people read it, just like the signs, and you hope people pay attention, so. I'll be sure to try to remind them to be, I will remind them to be on their best behavior, so.
Can you sign on
I'll
the
see if
back?
they do it.
Do you want me to fill this out?
I think he's already filled it out.
Oh, to select board received, original.
I'll scan all this stuff for you
Okay,
tomorrow.
oh, no worries. Then
Thank you,
I'll be
Gary.
by. All right, thank you very much, and I'll just try to stand
Appreciate
up.
your efforts on that.
Oh, thank you. All right, we'll see you guys later.
Thank you.
All right.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you all for
Night.
participating. Town hall rental agreement.
So Joel, I have it up on the screen, and you can just share it, and then people online can see it if they want. It's one of my windows that's open.
Do you go share, is that what you do?
Yep. And then it's the application window underneath the screen.
This one here.
Yep.
I like the picture.
Just cancel out of that.
Who drew the picture? Is that you?
What picture?
This one.
Oh, that's from a long time ago.
Is it?
I think if you hit you cancel underneath it.
Cancel where? Sorry.
Can you scroll down? I don't think you can see it
Just
because of the zoom.
That one. There
Oh, there it is.
we go.
All right.
Did everybody have a chance to read it? Does anyone need a minute to review it now? I made edits.
Does it
That's all
have
your
the
edits.
fee? Is the fee in here?
There's a page, I think page 4,
I only
page
have
3 and 4, rates and fees.
85
I'm
for
looking at a
resident.
version that only has
They're up
3.
here now. The
Oh,
rates
Are
and
you looking at
fees.
the old one?
I guess, yes.
You might be.
I'm just waiting for mine to open.
I was just
Sorry,
gonna say, do we wanna go through your,
Yeah.
your comments?
Does anyone have any comments before we go through the ones that I've made? Okay, hours of availability. Did I filled in Tuesday and Thursday, was that just like?
I just, only
accidentally
because,
missed, Or what was
um,
that, I didn't understand.
I think that there's a previously scheduled, event that happens in there, but I basically took the previous one and just sort of, but I wasn't sure how we wanted to list it, if we just wanted to say, you know, Thursdays, we typically don't have a lot of stuff over there just because the library's closed. And so it's hard to sort of monitor, if you will. But we can certainly schedule things over there, it's not a big deal. But I was just thinking that we could just do Monday through Sunday, you know. It doesn't have to be out, you know, during the hours of operation. People could rent it at 5:30 at night for a birthday party on a Thursday afternoon.
Yeah,
So-
but you have,
So I'm just wondering if we even need to designate hours of availability. I don't know if we even need to do
Just
that.
take it out.
we
Yeah.
could just take it out.
Yeah.
We could just take it out.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Okay, I can delete it.
Okay. So this question about, oh, I was like, wait a second, I'm not talking about parking. What just happened?
I'm editing as we're going through. That's probably why.
Sorry.
Okay. No, on kitchen.
Well, where was the section I was just looking at? Did you delete that too?
About the hours of use.
No? Oh, yeah, but in the hours of use, you had this whole thing about setup and breakdown. I didn't know we were
That's
taking
back.
all of that out. Okay, so hours of availability, maybe we say that the hours are generally 8 to 10, but flexible, and there are some standard, like weekly events that occur at certain
Yeah.
times that aren't available instead of all of those things. And then you have this bit of it, or not, just bear with me for a second. Any arrangements to open the town hall prior to the hours stated in the rental agreement for decorating, etc. I said that they must be part of the hours reserved through the rental contract.
Okay.
Does that not seem appropriate? Like, if you're renting it for a half a day, I guess that's where it becomes a little confusing, because if it's a 4-hour event and you want 1 hour beforehand, does it change the cost?
Right, I don't know the answer to that.
Yes, Gwen.
Because I have used a building for multiple things, I
Yeah.
would just say that with regard to that, it would probably depend on what type of
Setup?
setup they're doing, because if there's an extensive amount of setup,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess then it encourages them to use it for a full day versus a half a day, but I'm just thinking, like, if it's a tight schedule, it could just be really cumbersome
Can people just,
To
to,
have to arrange it outside of.
well, to have it part of the time that you've rented. I mean, again, you can always, so for example, if I rent it for half a day and I have 2 hours of setup,
Yeah.
and I'm confined to a half a day, it doesn't really allow me much time to do it. However, you
Which
could always
also like
state that,
isn't logistically appropriate given how it's used. Like, it's never an issue. Has it ever been an issue to set up before one of your events?
it wasn't, because I was proactive about it. As I said, can I bring some of my equipment down and put it out of sight so that it's there for me in the morning, because it was just so much that I was,
Oh, like you wouldn't be able, like when you're doing your chocolate stuff.
Right.
You wouldn't be able to move it all even down
the-
there. So
right.
you have to just like stage it, but then set it up before the event.
right. And I think
Okay, so
depending on
maybe
what the
those are
event
two
is
different
used
things.
for, because people have had like parties and stuff, and there's a caterer coming in and they're setting up long before they're coming to decorate or anything. And again, it could be pre-approval, like you have to have the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the
But-
piece of that like logistically to me, I'm like, well, if someone's setting up, then it's not available for someone else, so it should be part of the rental, but I'm not thinking of that because I think it should cost more. Do you get what I'm saying?
A little bit.
Does anyone
Yeah,
understand what I'm
Totally.
saying?
I can,
Well, I mean, I think if you need it all day for the setup and the event, then you should rent it all day, like, because nobody else can use it if you're setting up.
And I will say, like, since I've been here, it's only happened once that there's been like an overlap in events.
Yeah.
It really doesn't happen.
yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like this could mostly just be sorted out in email
Yeah.
when they request the
Yeah.
space. I don't know that we need to
So then
lay it
setup and
all out.
breakdown isn't necessarily part of the rental time.
Isn't it part of the contract though? Like, don't they have to specify it further down?
I
Yeah.
don't know, it just, from a liability, it just gets,
Setup
it gets
time,
muddy.
event time, cleanup completed by. So, on page 5.
I'm kind of with Harvey that the whole thing is, you know,
If you're using the room,
the hours are the
if you're
hours.
You
And
may
then
playing
be-
music or
Should be
cleaning up,
separate.
it's still
Hey, Carl.
part of the whole
You may
thing.
be introducing some uncertainty into it by having half-day rentals. Why isn't it just, you rent for the full day? Have you ever had somebody rent for half of Wednesday and the other half of Wednesday?
Mhm.
You do? Okay. It would just seem like,
I think that comes into play with like funeral services, where they'll have one in the morning, and I think we've had 2 on one day.
But again, it
I
doesn't
would
happen
think
very
that you
often.
would just have a one-day rental contract. If they used it for less than one full day, it's the same rent.
Yeah, again, it really isn't about the money portion for me. It's okay, maybe let's table this and continue, because there's a lot in here about insurance and other things that we don't currently do.
Yeah.
That may help answer this question for us. Okay, so the kitchen, I just added, if these conditions are not met, a cleaning fee will be assessed and deducted from the security deposit.
One other thing.
Yeah.
I think I may have mentioned it to Rebecca before, or maybe once to the librarian. My office is right up there where the back door is to the town hall.
The back door or the side door to the library?
The back door of the building.
Okay. That
And my
goes
office is
downstairs.
right there.
Yeah.
I have frequently seen the light on all night, and they fail to turn the lights out.
Yeah.
On a number of occasions, they failed to close the back door.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's been happening more and more often. And I'm getting word of that.
Every time I see it, I want to, I look, is there somebody there? Should I go out? Should I close the door? Should I turn the lights out? Of course,
Is the door closer gonna solve that problem?
It will solve that
Does it
problem.
mean it won't be able to be blocked open though? Because that's what's happening, right?
Yeah,
It's
it
blocked
gets hot
open.
down there and they block it open.
I don't know how to solve that.
Well, so one of the things that I was gonna bring up tonight is sort of, who's gonna take responsibility? We talked about, like, when we know that there's a rental, do we rotate on, when we know it's gonna be a late night rental, is somebody responsible for coming down, and making sure that all of the lights are off in that building, all the doors are shut and locked, all that stuff.
I mean,
No,
it's
we
part of
don't
the rental
do
fee
that,
used
but-
to pay somebody to come down and
Exactly,
check
Right.
and check them out, basically.
yeah, sort of like,
Is it clean?
it's
Are
only
the doors
happens
shut?
when there's an
Lights
event
off?
that's scheduled for the weekend.
Can we pay somebody whatever it would take to have them come down and spend an hour to check out the renter? And that's use part of the fee to do that.
Right.
Maybe that's something we can ask KMK if they have, because they have on-call people pretty much all the time, right? What would they charge us to be
$70.
on
Yeah,
call
yeah.
to do that?
70
I think it was in our contract,
after-
wasn't it? After hours,
Well, after hours is more.
it's like
Yeah.
150.
Yeah.
I'd rather see us like,
Yeah, but just like, I mean, I just really want us to keep in mind that the idea of this space is is accessible to the community. Like, it's not meant to be a money-making endeavor. People need,
Well, if we have to pay
See,
somebody to
we-
come check them out, we're not making any money.
I know, but I also, I don't wanna
But
turn
at least
around and
then-
say, now
At
it
least then
costs
Carl won't have to
$200
come out at
for
10
the day.
o'clock every night and shut the door for people.
right,
Well, let's use Quail as an example. If she's running a chocolate workshop and all of a sudden the rental fee is $200 for a half a day, and what do you charge people for the workshop?
Not enough to cover.
Not
Right.
enough to
Right.
cover $200 and make any money yourself.
Right.
Right. So that sucks. That's an awesome
yeah,
workshop.
right.
And there are so many other things like that that happen there. So what about the new security system? What does it tell us? Does
It
it
won't
tell
be-
us
it
if
won't
the
be
door is
over.
open?
I don't believe so.
And it's not over there.
It's not over there.
Do you currently have a checklist that you give to people that are using the space?
They're not
No.
currently, but that's the
I
plan.
mean, that could also,
Why don't we
you could
start there?
try that. I mean, simple like with an Airbnb, have you done A, B, and C before
Yeah.
you leave?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
And then, maybe it is like the cleaning thing is,
Maybe there's
If-
and please send an email
To say
showing, like, or maybe there's an electronic process. I don't know, like a checkout process that we could have on the website. Is that a possibility?
Well,
just a
Would our
sign out
website-
saying, I turn the lights out, I lock the doors, done.
Yeah.
who cleans the town hall?
Or cleaning.
Aaron Roya. I don't know what her business name is, but
I mean, it would have to be cleaned after it's rented, right?
We don't typically schedule a separate cleaning. The renters are typically responsible for, sweeping and wiping things down and bringing it back to its sort of status
I mean, that would be
quo.
the natural,
right.
Check.
the next morning when somebody comes to clean, they check the checklist and
I like the idea of sending an email with a completed checklist.
Okay.
I mean, it gives both parties an opportunity to be accountable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it allows for self-accountability
Right,
too, and like,
right,
cause
that's
it's
what I
really
mean.
just a friendly reminder, and
Right.
I just hate it when we make laws and fines. and
Yeah, I mean, I could
fees
create, a basic checklist in Google Drive,
Right.
in a Google form.
Yeah,
And, once they've officially rented it, I can send them that link in their email, and when they're done, they just have to open that link and check. Everything's closed, all the lights are off and doors are locked.
right, and then
so who's checking that they do that?
Well, Carl is. We'll just give Carl a key. Well, I think kind of what Quail said, I got word that the lights were left on last night, but you told me that everything was shut off, so what happened?
yeah, and if the conditions are found otherwise, a fee.
Yeah,
So it's you,
Believe it
it's
or
you the
not,
next
for many
morning.
years, I
Yeah.
did have a key to the town hall.
Well, if it means you go in, I mean, the door was open, Carl, you could have turned the lights on. Just kidding.
I had a key. They
Yeah,
gave me a key years and years ago. I finally turned it in.
But I
you
think,
didn't like the responsibility of getting up at midnight to turn the lights off?
I never exercised everything. There were some funky things that happened there, but
Yeah.
that was a long time ago.
yeah,
Yeah, I really like the idea of like making it easier to remind people how to do what we're asking them to do, because I don't think anyone's leaving the door open on purpose or the
Right.
lights on purpose. So I think a checklist
Yeah.
is a good
I
place to
think
start,
that's-
and we can always move on from there. And Carl will be like, hey, they're always leaving the lights on
Yeah.
now. Please
Right.
tell us.
Can the Google form send a text or an email at the end of, like, once you filled it out, does it send?
It
Is there
does.
a possibility
Mhm.
to just have that sent to one of us and then we can be like, great.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that sounds what you want. It's
Yeah.
like some-
I think that's, and it's a timestamp.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a reminder to whomever is renting, like, here are the things I need to do.
But I think broom clean, assuming somebody fulfills their full obligation of this checklist, isn't clean, like, how often are we clean?
Well, it does say in there that it should be left, the kitchen anyway should be left the way you found it, which you think the whole space, I mean, the whole space should be left the way
You
you found
missed
it.
this site visit.
I did.
Quill was giving you the eyes that would have made lots more sense. if
Did
did
you have
this site
somebody
visit.
come in and remove a lot of broken furniture?
Debris.
Yeah,
Because one night I was in my office and somebody was working late.
yeah,
Oh.
And he's just hauling stuff out
yeah.
and throwing it into a,
You're raiding the place.
And it needed
Carl, why didn't you
out.
call?
Yeah,
Call Jeff.
yeah, right.
well, I know that there's a lot of broken stuff down there.
Yeah, there was.
It looks great down there.
They've done a
Marie
really
and
nice
Amanda have
job.
done a really nice job.
Good. Okay, let's start with a checklist, and then,
Okay.
again, we're gonna need to be mindful of the fact that, like, we make accommodations for people who have parties there, and they come back the morning after, and so it'll still, I guess, continue to be a work in progress, and if we get to a point where it's not working, we'll have to revisit.
Question,
Yeah.
are the people that use it, existing uses of it, are they gonna sign this contract?
We haven't gotten to that part of the conversation.
That's a good question.
That's a good question. Okay, the kitchen stuff looked good to me. Parking, I think I changed it to north entrance of the village, which is what I think you meant. You meant the parking ride, right? Sure.
I don't
That one.
remember. It
But that's
was
the
a
only
while
one.
since I did this.
I'm not
Yeah.
crazy,
yeah,
right?
Yep.
So the north end and at the Warren Elementary School. Prohibitions. Okay, so this, nothing is to be nailed, stapled, you had, or tacked or taped to any walls. What I've seen people do that I think works well is like a gentle tape, whether it's scotch tape or masking tape, or the sticky tack, because people like to put up banners, they, you know,
Painter's tape.
painter's tape is a good one.
Masking tape will take paint off the wall
Yeah.
sometimes.
It will.
It will,
Definitely will, yeah.
So when you go to rip it off, you've left
a mark.
a mark. I mean, painter's tape usually doesn't, but even that can sometimes,
Mhm.
just from my experience.
If it's left on too long.
Well, and
Yeah,
sometimes-
conditions, or it's old, or
Yeah.
Or
it
the
just,
paint is flaking
Cheap tape.
anyway.
Or
it's humid
sometimes,
that day, or it's dry that day.
yeah,
or-
they use, just regular scotch tape.
Yeah.
And then, they rip, their banner down or whatever, and
A
the tape
piece of it
stays there, and then you
stays.
can't get it off the walls. And
Okay, so do we really just not want anything ever?
Nothing has to be nailed, stapled, or tacked or taped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it that way.
yeah,
They can bring an easel and put their
Right.
thing on that.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
what-
if you
that's
know
what
in
we do.
advance, you just make accommodations
right,
for it.
right,
As
exactly.
long as you know in
Yeah.
advance. I
Right.
mean, that's part of your contract, so it seems like it should be pretty straightforward.
There's a few easels up there.
Mhm.
Right?
Okay, what was your question about occupancy, Rebecca? 149.
That's what I found in the old,
Doesn't that seem like a lot?
the old.
No.
Is that for the whole building or per
We used to
floor?
rage in there, Harvey. Mother's
Well,
Day
so that's my question. I
volleys,
don't know if
packed
that's
to
the whole
the
building
gills.
I can't imagine 149 people up on that top floor.
Have you reached out to the fire safety people?
I have not. I think Chad was planning to do that.
Anyway,
Mhm.
I think we talked about how I
Yep.
was planning to do that. So
Exactly.
let's check.
I'll follow up with him.
Yeah. Cleanup.
Yeah, see right there, I think in that cleanup statement, that addresses your Harvey's issues of what the expectation is, and if the expectation isn't met, then the money comes out of the security deposit.
Security for cleaning.
Yep.
Right.
Have pink what and blue what?
Pink. Markings?
Yes. Did I not put that?
It just says pink.
Come on, you guys. Did you not understand my?
Sorry.
Okay. Okay, the thermostats, turn down to what? Or up to what? If they're using air conditioning,
Well, I think
I
that.
think we just need to be more specific here.
Yeah, I think that they shut the heat pump off when they're done using it upstairs on the top floor. And then in the basement, we were talking about having KMK replace that thermostat with a electronic one.
That was gonna have a case over it.
Yeah, and
You
then we'll have a case over it so they really
You
can't
can't touch it.
mess with it. Because they're getting confused with the dehumidifier panel as well as the heat panel.
Okay, so then this actually becomes, please turn the heat pumps off. Because downstairs is no longer changeable.
Well, it still is, but yeah, hopefully by the time we roll this out,
You have to use the remote on the wall.
yeah.
Do we turn them off? You don't leave them on? And
I don't know if Marie leaves the one in the library space on, or maybe she leaves it to dry,
yeah.
or whatever it is.
But upstairs.
But upstairs, because it doesn't get used that often,
Yeah.
so we just shut it
And
off.
it cools pretty quickly.
Yeah.
R. Okay, that all looks good. What do y'all think about fees? I like the security deposit. Right now it's $50, no matter who you are or how long you're there. Is that right?
And the security deposit is 150 or 100. I can't remember what it is.
We have a security deposit.
I don't really charge anything to anybody.
It's like our festival permit fees. What do you guys think?
How much is the security deposit?
We don't know yet.
Oh, TBD.
I think we're generally doing 100.
It doesn't feel sufficient.
But yeah.
Okay, let's imagine if they, what? Break a
What's the
window?
worst case scenario kind of deal, like?
Well, yeah, and then let's work backwards a little bit,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Like, what's the worst case?
Put a hole in the wall.
Terrible thing.
Break.
Terrible things.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if I can go worst
very
case.
bad.
It's like many thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Something.
Right.
Maybe not worst case. Maybe
Like they broke a window or.
Do we have like a,
Broke one of the tables.
Yeah,
broke a
broke a table.
table.
Or a chair. Or
Yeah.
Or they just didn't clean at
Didn't
all,
clean,
and we
right.
have to call the cleaning people.
how much is a
and it
cleaning
takes-
session?
300-ish.
So $500.
Hmm?
I don't know if
Too
we're
much?
yeah, I think we're gonna get legal to say I'm not renting.
Yeah,
Most of the time, they're probably gonna get it back, but that's a chunk of change for,
Yeah, that
for
is.
people.
So.
But it's
Be
300, it's
behind
300 just to clean it?
Who are,
Well, so
That's
what
the
if you
whole
take a
building?
smaller security deposit, but you have a credit card
That's
on
for all of
file?
us, so I don't know what just over
And
there
are
would
you
be.
allowed to do that?
I don't know, are we allowed to do that?
Say that again, I
If you had like $100 security deposit with a credit card on file, that way if something really happens, you know, that way it keeps it up front. It's $100, that's kind of average for what, and then if something big happens and it
would
is a
have to be in the
$300
contract.
cleaning fee,
They would have to
you
sign
have
something,
said that,
pre-authorizing the use of their
Yeah.
credit card.
Yeah,
If
hang
they
on,
exceed it.
before we go to the credit card, we
Typically, we have 'em write
skipped
2 checks.
over insurance.
You did?
Why did we skip over insurance? There was a whole lot about insurance.
I thought it was down further.
Yeah, it's-
Oh, so then we haven't skipped over it, but maybe it affects the rates.
Yeah, it's down further.
What is this insurance? People don't currently give us insurance certificates. How does this even work? This is one of those moments where I don't even feel like an adult.
Well, it would just be alcohol, but didn't we say no alcohol?
Well, no, you can have alcohol, but you have to have a caterer's license and they provide the insurance. But this is asking for
So this was part of Moortown's,
general liability insurance.
yeah, so this is what Moortown requests.
In which the town
just
of
left
Warren
it
is an
in there.
additional insured with combined single limit coverage of $1 million and $1 million. So worst case would be covered by their insurance instead of ours is the idea.
Do we know that?
Oh,
Well, if we're asking for a certificate of insurance in which the town of Warren is additionally insured, that means if the person renting the space for the given duration of the time, they become responsible for any and all damages
do
to the
people who
building.
rent the space have
Insurance?
liability insurance?
Yeah, that's
for
the piece
the
I don't
event?
understand.
see, yeah, I would say.
I think
yes.
it's probably a rider that you can add to your personal,
I
yeah.
don't know
Insurance, but I
about
don't
that.
know.
Yes,
how.
I'm just, my fundamental question, does our policy cover the town renting
Yeah.
spaces?
yes.
It does. We
Yeah.
Yeah.
have, we have some language in there that says we can rent any space we want and we're covered. for
Yes.
the event that's there.
Yes, which is why I don't understand why this is in here.
Yeah, why did Moortown put it in there?
Yeah, I also can't imagine like, you know, a kid's birthday party getting an
Yeah.
insurance
An
rider
insurance
for $1
rider.
million. Like,
Yeah,
Or the exercise classes that happen over there, and then, I don't know.
Yeah, nobody's gonna have a
Yeah.
insurance policy.
Not unless they're a company.
right.
yeah.
Right, right.
I mean, that looks to me more like something like if you're hosting a farmer's market or a craft fair or
Uh-huh.
an event, those
Right.
vendors are responsible for something like
Yeah.
that.
Right.
They're usually not.
The
for
way we
like
do
a-
through the festival permit.
Right.
And so if a festival permit were required for an event in the town hall, that's basically the same thing, the caterer gets the insurance.
The Moortown Town Hall, they have like dance performances there and like larger, money-making things. that
They do?
happen. Yeah.
Because they like still use the stage like a stage.
Yeah. So there's like the library's downstairs, but the stage is like you can rent out the space
Mm.
and use the whole space as like our kids used to dance there.
Right,
So and there would be like a show there.
yeah. I don't know, I
So
would
that's why
say like,
that's why I would imagine the insurance policies there. Is the
it's meant for
the
that.
dance company that rented it out probably had to have an insurance.
I think the
policy.
only insurance would be if you have alcohol, you need to have your
Yeah. Or a
vendors.
food vendor, they would
Yeah.
need their insurance as well.
Yeah, alcohol
they
or
already
food
have.
vendors would need,
That's what
Okay.
I think too. I don't think.
and of
we
course you
should-
can't have alcohol unless you have a vendor with
But we-
insurance.
Yes,
license.
and that's in here as well.
Above here, we skip where it says if you're gonna rent it with alcohol or something else, right?
It's a higher
There's
security
It's
deposit.
down here, yeah, rent and security deposit.
With
The security
alcohol.
deposits of $200 and $400 with alcohol at the signing of this rental agreement.
Are caterers required to have a license?
Yes,
Yes.
Yep.
caterers for both food or beverage. Okay, so I think that the insurance piece really just needs to be for caterers and alcohol. Do you feel confident regarding that?
Yeah.
And then we do have a suggested security deposit here of 200 or 400 if there's alcohol. What do you guys think about those
I think that's fine. I mean,
costs?
they should be able to clean that, just that building for 200.
Well, and it really isn't ever the whole building, right? It's one or the other space.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's 4 person hours of cleaning on average, $200. Should be plenty.
I think, yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'm surprised that a full day event is more than twice a 4-day event, 4-hour event. Right? It would be 170 if it were just double. But is it potentially even longer than 8 hours?
I guess,
And then it's less if you're a non-resident for the full day than 2 4-hour events? That's confusing to me.
This is just what
I have
more
another
time
question.
had.
Why are we charging non-residents so much more? What's the point?
I'm just, we basically got permission from Moortown to use theirs, and this is what they had in theirs for language.
Why would we want to do that?
I don't know if we do, but I just
I
left
don't know,
it in
that's
there.
an interesting conversation, Jim. There are so few things as locals that we have a locals discount for anymore.
I think the logic is taxpayers and residents pay for the upkeep of the building, pay for the maintenance around it, pay for the windows and the doors and the roof.
Yeah. We're
And people
already paying
that
for
don't
it.
pay property taxes or don't pay for that, so if they want to use it, they pay a little extra. I mean,
But what
I'm
happens
thinking of
when-
second homeowners, they do pay, right?
Second homeowners do pay, yes, that's
Yeah,
true.
they wouldn't be a resident.
So maybe
That's a fair
it
point.
should
They would
be
they
warrant
would
property
put it kind of on the
owners.
chin.
Or,
Maybe it should
Yeah.
warn property owners
Right.
and then,
yeah,
That's fair.
Yeah.
So what happens
I think
when
that's a nice idea.
Uncle Joe, who's lived here for 35 years, passes away?
That's the other
But
question.
I live in Florida, but I want to come here to have his funeral because this is where all of his friends live.
Then you tell the town administrator that, and she says, "I'll give it to you for the
Make her make the decision.
I mean, I think,
Well, I mean, because the person, in that
Yeah.
case, the person was a resident. He obviously can't book
Right,
the place
right.
himself.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I mean,
Like he
so-
was a resident.
Yeah.
It does put you in that
but we
decision,
should
but it seems like it's pretty,
have property owner, property taxpayer, not
that's great.
resident, yeah.
yes, yeah.
I agree. That's more precise.
Or recently deceased property owner.
That's right.
No.
I'm recently deceased and I would like to rent
That's-
it out.
I'm just a typist. It's in there now.
Okay.
How about the prices, guys?
We're going back up to the prices, where are we?
We're back up to the prices because we were tabling this for a minute.
That was fine.
I do agree with what you said though, Devin, of like, why is it cheaper to rent?
Have you put recently
Usually-
deceased in there?
I mean,
Well,
cause
I
I
don't
can
know
just
what
go,
you're
okay, I want 2 half-day events.
Right.
Yeah.
It's less than the full day,
It
so
doesn't
it
make any
kinda should be
sense
the
to
other
me.
way around. If you're gonna do
Yeah,
it, or make it
just,
the same, or just
Just make it,
You don't want
just
it?
buy for a
Double-
full
yeah,
day.
make it 170.
I am joking, but it's still.
Might just be a math issue.
It could be nice.
Well, and so my other question, just knowing, like, we have groups that come monthly, weekly. So what do we charge them?
Yeah, well, let's talk about this. What do we charge them?
Well,
We don't.
2 of the groups we don't charge.
They do something in
Correct.
exchange.
Correct.
And is that thing of equivalent value? And is it getting done? And so, who was it that, did you suggest that we there's a grace period and we're rolling out this new thing and here's how it's gonna go?
Mhm.
I think that seems appropriate.
Okay.
I also don't love $85 for a 4-hour event.
You know what?
I don't like $85 for a 4-hour event.
Is it too much or too little?
I feel like it's too much.
I didn't hear the
I don't like the $85 for a 4-hour event. It feels too expensive.
$85 for a 4-hour.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like,
No, we don't need to, like, at the end of the day, the city's not making
Well,
much
what are
budget
you
on these
trying to
rentals. Like, let's just make it
accomplish
$50
by
bucks.
the fees
And
that you're charging.
yeah.
Like, what's,
I think it's more the wear and tear of the building,
Yeah,
because it's
Definitely.
starting
we're
to
gonna have to
get,
get it painted
Yeah.
every so often, we're
There's
gonna
a
have to
lot
get
of
the
wear and
floors
tear.
redone.
that floor
we're gonna-
upstairs is gonna have to be totally redone.
Yeah,
One of
the
these
doorknobs are
years.
gonna
That's
break,
historic, I
Cam
think,
K's
yeah.
gonna have to come
I
and
don't
fix
think
them.
He said,
$85
we're done
is too
sanding
much.
it, like,
No.
he can't sand it anymore. he's gonna have to totally come in and redo it.
The wood floor.
What did you say, Carl?
I don't think $85 is too much.
Quill, what do you think?
You're thinking only in terms of the time, but as Harvey and others have mentioned, we're wearing out that building.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to paint it. You're gonna.
I think a kid's birthday party, right? I mean, you would have 6 kids up there. You don't want to spend $85 to have those kids have a little birthday party up there. However, if you're doing something different, you kind of do, so you're kind of in a
Right.
tough spot. I agree that for some things, it's way too expensive.
It feels.
Even a funeral, it seems that would be.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a portion of people that is just too much. And one of the beautiful things about that space is it provides an opportunity for anyone to have access to a party venue.
Can you have, this makes me calm down, say, can you have a sliding scale, that makes it a nightmare.
Do you have one person, Rebecca? Are you the one who screens all the requests?
Oh, great.
Pretty much.
Okay, so,
So if I don't like you,
Yeah.
you know, you
I
could
like
have
everybody.
some informal rules.
I mean-
Where $85 is.
Or is
great.
is it a capacity thing, under 20 people, over 20 people?
Yeah.
You could
It
just use,
incrementally goes up because the wear and tear is gonna be just,
More.
and it's gonna take more.
You could make it $50 if it's less than 10 people, or 85 if it's over 10, or whatever.
You know, your capacity is
most
149.
people
How many?
will be honest with you as to,
Yeah.
you know, what
Yeah.
the purpose is and
Yeah.
what
How,
they're doing.
how many
And if you
events-
were to waive the fee for a funeral service for an elder,
Mhm.
I.
which we typically don't charge for a funeral anyways.
No, yeah, that's, no,
If the
I
knitting
would
club
not.
is meeting,
Here
they're
we
not
go
doing a lot of wear
again.
and
We're making
tear.
rules here. You know?
This-
It's kind of
This is the rule that was made before I started
That's it.
here.
it's just a courtesy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you have an event scheduled there and someone in the community passes away and they want their funeral over there,
You
it's
get the
in
booth.
the old policy that you get bumped. Yeah. I think Quail got bumped.
I got bumped.
Yeah, you had to go over to the fire station a couple years ago.
Are we keeping that?
I mean,
I think if you have, I think you should, I mean, as much as it's awkward and
yeah,
cumbersome, but like you kind of know that, and I think as long as you have a backup plan,
mhm,
I mean, that is the reality of it, is
Yeah.
just make sure you have a backup plan.
yeah,
You know, I was lucky enough that Rebecca hustled it and I did get over there. You know, I went over to the
Right.
fire station, it worked for my event. I don't think that would necessarily work for everybody.
right, exactly.
Right. Ooh.
Lots of things
It's
to
a
think
tangled
about.
web.
Like, how much money do they?
But, and I think that's part of kind of what goes into the fee
maybe.
thing too, for me.
You're not making any money, you're just trying to lose less money.
Right.
Yeah,
Once
exactly.
you paint that room once, you've already lost all you made
Yeah.
for the whole year. All you're trying to do is minimize the loss for the town and maintaining the room.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Offset some of the costs for
And
the
that's
room.
why I think maybe property owners should pay more. I agree with that. But like for town people, we'll
Just
just say make it like
50.
yeah, 40, $50 and
It's currently 50. What if we go 60?
So then
Inflation.
I'm just gonna play devil's advocate.
I want you to.
What about the people who have an hour exercise class over there? We gonna charge them $60? We can charge them $50? We can charge them $200 because they're a non-property owner and they wanna have an event over there?
so, and for like the recurring ones,
That's
I
re-
think it's really
that's
hard.
Recurring.
Yeah, I think it's really hard to list all of what
Yeah,
we're gonna do, and I
right.
think some of that just comes into, it filters into you,
Okay.
and you can use your discretion
Yeah.
to do what you think is
I mean,
fair.
space
How
is
much does
expensive.
Tracy pay for her exercise class?
Tracy, exchange services for the town, so she doesn't.
But we should be clear, this isn't, the 80s. Space is expensive.
Right.
It's
Right, if they
expensive to
rent a
keep it up,
studio
it's
to hold their
expensive to
class,
maintain
or even
it.
if you put it in your own home, you have wear and tear on your own home.
Space
So,
is
I mean,
expensive.
It is, yes.
It's very expensive.
Yeah, and I think if we say to people they're paying 50 now and it jumps up to 85 or even 75, for some people it's not worth their effort
Well,
anymore.
for the exercise class, it might be 7 people. in there.
Right.
And so that's,
Right.
and, that would make it cost prohibitive for her to
Right.
have an exercise class.
Yeah, I think it's a,
So I think we need to add a row. Sure.
I think you have
So
to
this
give Rebecca
format
a
is
lot of
this.
discretion.
That's probably,
Well, some
Yes,
guidelines
yeah.
of, you know, basic
We've got it.
guidelines, and then you kind of, yeah.
sounds like we kind of already operate that way anyway, so.
Recurring event.
I think we should throw it back on the select board that for things, community health oriented things that you can waiver the cost. And you just bring it to the select board and the select board says, yep.
Yeah.
Like Tracy, that's a community service that she's providing up there for that exercise class.
Yeah.
And you should have the ability to say, okay, we're gonna waive your fee.
I agree. And it also has a higher wear and tear rate than like all of the other events combined.
That's true,
So
maybe
if
you
what
don't
we're
want them,
concerned
but-
about is wear and tear, then things like that are the use of the building.
You can always ask Tracy, what would be a reasonable
Yeah.
fee?
When you go to that class, you're supposed to bring a separate pair of shoes
Yeah.
that are inside shoes. So you're not bringing your shoes that you wore from the car to the parking lot. So you're
Yeah.
not bringing any dirt in. So like,
Grid
there's,
on the floor.
or you're barefoot.
Yeah.
So it's like, there is some.
And I don't, I'm not
just
trying to
I'm just
single
trying to
out
say that
Tracy, I'm
like,
just.
she is trying to not
Yeah.
like destroy the floor.
well, and that's
so-
only an
Right,
hour.
right.
That's, right, so maybe we need a 1 hour rate, a half day rate, and a full day rate. And 1 hour is $20, I don't know.
And it's like, someone wants to hold a meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want a 1 hour meeting, it's $20. If you want a half day, it's $50. If you want a full day, it's $100.
And then those costs.
you're a taxpayer.
Change. So I think that maybe this formatting changes a little bit, Rebecca, right? And it goes to Warren property owners and then the various options. Well, maybe I just did that wrong. Maybe it was me. We need another column instead of another row.
I'm just making notes.
I liked Warren resident as well, right? I mean, even if you don't own property and you're a resident here, you should
Yeah,
maybe.
So you're a renter.
Yeah, you're a renter.
Yeah.
Then you are
Something like that.
contributing to taxes.
Yeah.
Renters pay property tax.
How do I make another column?
Maybe, yeah, you just say resident or second homeowner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did, but now
try to give them a
now
break.
there's no line.
It's down below. I'll do it.
No discount if you have an Airbnb.
If you haven't paid your fee.
You're gonna add 1 hour. Okay, so, I would say up to 2. I would say up to 2 hours. Then
Well, you
it's
could
like-
just have
it's
an
a
hourly
zero.
rate, right?
You could just have an hour.
And then you
Like
can,
that.
then you can just have an
yeah,
hourly
that
rate.
simplifies this a
And-
lot.
You know, if Tracy's class is an hour, it's an hour, but if
Right.
her half class is an hour and a half, then it's an hour and a half, or
Right.
someone comes in for a 2-hour meeting, you've got an hourly rate.
And that might solve the setup and cleanup.
Yeah,
So if you need 6 hours to set up and clean up in for your event, then that's an hourly rate. I actually like that.
that's a great idea. And if we set that hourly rate at like $15,
yep.
it works out to $60 for 4 hours.
And if you need it all day,
For-
And if you need it
resident,
for 5
$150
hours, then you pay the extra.
Right,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
okay, I like
Let's do
that.
that.
And then if it's a non-property owner, it's twice that. So it's $30 an hour.
Yeah, good.
How does that sound?
That sounds great.
What do you think?
It's good. Are we gonna put into this thing what Jim's talking about as, I mean, are we putting discretion, giving you discretion in this document, or is that just something that just happens?
The discretion is really tricky. It puts an awful lot of pressure on Rebecca because everybody's going to come and say, well, I heard you let
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Bob
I
come
think
for
we-
free. How are you going to charge me?
I think we just don't.
Yeah.
If something comes up.
It's $15.
Something comes up.
Yeah.
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 And I don't think you guys are gonna wanna have to approve
No.
every rental agreement.
Nope.
It gets old
Definitely
really
don't.
fast.
No, well, that's what I said at the bottom. Why are we signing this? Was like.
I kept what was previously.
Yeah.
$15 an hour for residents and second homeowners, $30 an hour for everyone else.
And then you might wanna just cap the full day event to get the idea that people can't rent it for a 20-hour day, kind of thing. I mean, you laugh, but sometimes that happens by the time you
Yeah.
set up and cleaned up, is that you're here at 7 or, 8, and then you're here until 2 in the morning.
Max for the day of
Yes.
150.
Okay,
I'm gonna have my
Are we
son
gonna-
come down and move in and rent it.
There you go.
in the valley.
That's right. That's right.
Are we good with the
And he can
security
deal with the lights and the
deposits?
open doors.
Exactly.
Are we good with security deposits? 200, 400 with alcohol, trash removal penalty is 75.
That sounds fine.
Okay, so the next sentence right here is what we were talking about.
Which one? The select board? At
At
its
its discretion,
discretion.
waive the rental fee for
For
nonprofit
nonprofit
organizations.
organizations with prior notification.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we reserve all rights to
Right.
do whatever we want.
I mean, I don't think we need to write that in there
Why not?
because it's always at our discretion. You know.
I like it. They know that if we say, hey, somebody died, you gotta go somewhere else. We told them.
Well, also, it just, like a conversation, I can say, well, how come you gave it her for that and you made me?
Right.
It says right there, well, that was one of the discretions.
Yeah,
You kind of,
we have our
Gives you-
reasons
yeah.
and thanks but
I
no
mean,
thanks.
kind of.
Can we add something about if we intend to bump people in the event that a funeral needs to occur? I think it should be in here.
Yep, I agree.
Do you all think we should do that?
I mean, if it's a thing, to have your funeral here, then yeah.
Sure.
Do they
yeah,
use both
that's-
floors when that happens?
Sometimes.
Sometimes they do.
Most
Sometimes they'll set up food downstairs. Like if, sometimes people will have their actual service over there, so they'll have the service up on the top floor, then they'll do all the food downstairs.
If they're not religious.
But a lot of people have their service,
Service
across
here,
the parking
reception
lot.
here.
Yeah.
And then I've been to a couple where food is downstairs, but like there's memorabilia upstairs and an opportunity to like look at pictures or do a
I
thing.
mean, if that's a tradition here to do that, then
Sure.
it's fine with me.
I think it seems like a good tradition to continue.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Will you please add something to that effect? And then this, I see actually now is just that this is adopted by us,
Yeah.
but not that we have to approve everything.
That was down further, I
Oh.
think.
Yeah, okay,
I
right, so
can-
we're
I
still
can take
going,
that out.
we're on the form,
Do you want it to be my signature?
yes.
Okay. Lucky me. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Marie asks a question about entertainment.
Yeah, I think she, so I put that in there just because, we haven't had the conversation yet about, the pavilion and the noise level in the village. And so I think just out of respect for, the village residents, if somebody's gonna be over there with a band, we should probably know so that if we start getting phone calls that, there's music blaring from the town hall, we know that there's a big birthday bash happening there and it'll be over at 10. Or maybe if we know that there's a band, it has to be limited to 8:30, something like that.
If there's a band, doesn't it kind of like change the whole thing?
Have
Does
we
that
had a
make it
lot of bands?
There have been
Okay.
big birthday parties over there where there's
With bands?
been bands. I haven't experienced them, but
And so
Yeah,
when
I've lived
that,
there 50 years, I can tell you.
yeah.
You've
I
seen it
remember when
all.
they had, somebody would, once a week, would have drumming class.
Oh Lord.
that's fun,
Very loud drumming class.
with all the doors and windows open, because we
With
didn't have
all
any air
the
conditioning.
doors and windows.
That's great. That's right.
Okay, I think that is a good thing
Maybe
to
we reword
know.
it. Maybe it doesn't say entertainment, but
Well,
Sort of.
what else would you call it?
I don't know. That's what
Some
I
kind of
was.
noise related.
Well, it would be good to know, are they
Doesn't-
having a juggler and that's
Doesn't
why
the
there are
town already
strange
have
spots
a
on the
noise
ceiling, or-
ordinance?
Yes.
About what hours we can do that, so
I mean, typically
Doesn't
we
that
have
cover
bands
it?
done by 8.
Noise ordinance
The noise ordinance
applies.
is I think 10 is the cutoff for bands in the village,
Okay.
noise in the village, I think it's 10.
I don't think there's a time on it. It's
No,
decibels.
I think it's a time, because
There
Ari
is.
was very
There
specific
has been
about
a
it with
time.
I
weddings.
thought it was
I
10.
thought Ruth
The
said that
picture
there was
in
a time.
operates
I was
with
gonna
a
say.
time a
Okay.
time for the noise ordinance.
Yeah.
Okay.
He shut
Because every
down-
time I asked Ruth, she
Only
said that
one
there's no time limit, but it's just decibels.
Well, that's true for like zoning permits, but I think,
I think there's
I'm
a,
pretty sure, you haven't found one? Well, we need one. Put it on the agenda. That would help actually quite a lot for open, as part of our conversation about how we're using these structures, having some guidelines that we know we
Yeah,
can follow.
and what hours?
When you're considering a rental, a town hall rental for a birthday party, is the pavilion included in this?
At the
proposition?
moment, the pavilion cannot be rented. It can be used by town organizations. Like the town can say, we're having an event, right? So the planning commission has the wine down, and the historic society. The library can say, we're having this event and it'll be in the pavilion. But individuals cannot currently reserve the use of the pavilion.
That said, if you're having a party and you reserve the town hall and nobody's in the pavilion, you can,
Absolutely
Go
go
out and
hang
use
out
it,
there.
right?
Yeah, that was sort of what we all said, like,
Yeah.
you can't reserve it, but you can use it.
Right, so, that would be in the summertime.
We
Most-
had a sled dogging event that Marie and Amanda put on, it was great. And that was in the pavilion.
mostly the summer.
We
So
are-
I found the ordinance if you want me to read it to you.
Oh, what does it say?
So it says, noise emanating off-site must be muffled, must not be distinct from the background sound level beyond the property line, and must not interfere with the reasonable use and enjoyment of nearby property. The DRB must place specific limits on noise levels and hours of operation as deemed necessary to further the purposes of this section unless otherwise approved by the DRB. Sound levels must not exceed a continuous weighted average of 70 decibels and a maximum of 120 decibels in any 1 hour period as measured from a single statutory location beyond the property line.
Thank you. So then those conditions have been placed on businesses, which is why the picture in has a cutoff
Okay.
at either 10 or 11, I can't remember. It might be 11, for noise. And I guess all of our other hopping bars in downtown Warren
Yeah,
Village
yeah.
have their own limit.
Would the DRB write the ordinance? A more,
No. The Development Review Board, as determined here, is responsible for setting hours of operation as conditions of use.
I don't even know if we want to go down that road, but
No, we could have noise ordinance, but the select board would write that.
yeah.
And I do think we should.
I think for the pavilion, we should have definitely some kind of writing.
Yeah.
Like an 8:30-ish for like bands would probably be
Yeah,
respectful and reasonable for the
Right.
residents.
right. Okay, so this form just needs a couple of tweaks because we went with an hourly rate, so setup time and event time sort of changes to start and stop time.
Yep. Do we want to take out the cleanup completed by line?
I don't know what that means. I think,
I mean, if you think you're gonna need a half an hour, you think you're gonna need an hour.
oh, is that meant to refer to time?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think we need that line.
I don't think we need that.
okay.
I think what we need is something about the Google form
Yep.
checklist
Okay.
that needs to be completed upon
I'll put that there.
ending. And then I'm probably also gonna say that we have to have this looked at by our attorney.
Yep, definitely. I kind of gave him the heads up that it was coming.
Okay.
I talked to him earlier today.
And the insurance you're gonna rework to be, catering and events. Catering and food only. Or other entertainment, right? If you're gonna have a band.
Yeah, if you're gonna have a band, you've gotta have
Does
insurance.
the band need insurance?
Yeah,
Does
what
the
if they
band
damage-
have
what if they damage
insurance
the
when they
floor?
come to the pavilion?
No, yes, typically.
They do?
And I don't know if the Glam Cowboys have insurance, but when Tim was here, he had insurance. When the jazz ensemble comes, they have a certificate of insurance.
But the teenagers don't.
I don't know the answer to that. I'm not the one that books them. So,
Who books them?
well, Amanda and Maria are dealing with the Glam Cowboys, so I can ask them.
And when you do the wind down, you guys don't get a certificate of insurance from the band?
Well, I don't think we did.
But I think the pavilion's maybe a little different than the building.
Yeah.
It's just as expensive.
No, I'm not saying that.
What are you
But-
insuring?
What are you insuring? I don't know. Damage,
Damage, I guess.
fire, electrical fire, giant scratches to the floors.
Is it liability or is it property? Are you talking about property?
Liability, usually.
Yeah, that's,
Our
It's
insurance
probably-
covers it, which is why we don't worry about it.
probably just a
Right, 'cause it would
liability
be You guys
portion.
would be filing the claim, not
Yeah.
them.
Right.
That's- it'd be
You know,
filed
somebody-
against you, not the
Somebody
vendor,
trips
say.
and falls on the speaker cable or something.
Right, that's liability.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there needs to be, okay, I'm just trying to think through all the scenarios because the devil's in the details. If we have some kind of entertainment, is there a higher security deposit? Is there a greater need? Or do we have such a awesome insurance policy as the town?
Wouldn't that be a question for your lawyer?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, let me
This is
check
a
with them.
lawyer email here.
Because they're gonna be the ones fielding it.
Yeah. Great, good.
Should probably add smoking and vaping are prohibited
Yeah.
facility.
Just because I'm paranoid about it, if you're gonna talk to a lawyer, can you have them specifically look that the town is covered for a rental property?
Yeah. I mean, I have to fill out the form every year, so I know the properties that are insured.
Right, but I just mean the action of us renting to somebody.
Yeah, and I have to tell them why, like for what the purposes are of the use of the buildings.
We
So-
have confirmed on multiple
okay.
occasions,
Yeah.
Jim.
That's
She
fine.
can ask
Yeah.
again. We have. We've asked it so many, because I think this is like the fourth time we've been through this.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
will say the insurance company said they would come out and
Oh, they come out
spend
every,
15 minutes,
they come out every year.
come to the select board and
Yeah.
and talk through our
Yes,
policy
that too, but-
to
That's
refresh
right,
all
and
of
we
us.
had talked about how that would be a really good idea,
Yeah,
and we should do that.
we should.
Let's put that on the agenda too, please.
You got it.
And then the occupancy, we're gonna figure out if it's per floor, right?
Yeah, we're checking with KMK on this one.
149 people in the top floor.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of people.
I can't imagine.
Okay, alcohol. This is new. If the renter will furnish or serve alcohol at the event, the renter will procure and maintain at its sole cost and expense liquor liability insurance in which the town of Warren is an additional insured. So does that mean I, Devin, can go get a liquor liability policy from my insurance agent and then have bottles of booze on the counter?
Mm-hmm.
That's a thing?
I
A person
doubt
can
it.
do?
I think it's more given, like, if you're having an
Yeah, I
event,
think
you
it's-
can get
yeah.
a day alcohol license.
Right.
But it's not like, oh, I'm throwing a birthday party and it's a cash bar or a free bar. I don't think that.
What's the difference between what you just said?
You're not.
You're charging.
You have to charge for it.
Well, no, I just think,
I think this is meant to accommodate the birthday party, so that's why I'm confused. I didn't know this was even
Yeah.
possible.
Can somebody have a party
Yeah, yes,
at
yes.
the town hall and serve liquor?
Well, under our current policy, no, unless they have a caterer with a liquor license.
And that
But what
caterer.
this is suggesting is that said renter can provide the insurance policy.
That sounds like a
Again, I think
question for
another
the
lawyer
lawyer.
question.
I don't
because
think you want
I
that.
think that.
Well, I think you
has-
do want that, but I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, I don't think any insurance company is going,
Or it's gonna be really expensive.
yes, they don't, it's
Well,
just,
see, equivalent of having a caterer come in and take care of it. I mean, it leaves the individual in a caterer situation.
Yeah, but the caterer has done the licensing, they know how
But
to
they
check
can get a day, like they can
IDs,
get a single day, a single day license.
from the Department of Liquor Control.
Yes.
So then a said individual would have to do the same thing.
Yes.
And then you'd have to become a caterer, then you have to.
Well, then you just,
Let's ask
It's a
Nick.
special
Yeah,
event kind of
yeah,
thing.
it's a
Let's
special
ask
event.
Nick
Mhm.
what this means, because it doesn't
And
make
it's
any sense.
I think it's a chunk of change,
yes, it is a
Yeah,
chunk of change.
yeah.
I mean, most people won't do it, they'll hire the caterer
because
because
it's cheaper, yeah.
it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think that's what the problem was when we had the wind down, because the guy who was coming to serve alcohol got the wrong license. And it was like $275 or something like that.
Right,
So I think they're typically 100, something like that. But anyways,
okay.
Let's
well,
ask- we'll ask
Let's
Nick.
ask Nick,
Yeah.
and then maybe this makes more sense.
again, I just
Because
left
he
what
could probably
Moortown
just help
had.
you with the verbiage there.
And
Yeah.
I think that there's a formatting issue here. I think it's just A, B, and C. And that C is the last sentence of B. You got what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay, host liquor liability coverage may be substituted when alcohol is consumed and not sold at the facility. Yeah, like I don't even understand this. Host liquor liability insurance.
I just basically kept what Moortown had.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means.
I don't either.
I'd like Nick to tell us what's happening here.
That's where you serve it for free versus having to pay for it.
Okay,
Have a
so
birthday
that's what we
party
were
and I
talking
bring a
about.
case of beer or bring
Yeah.
a keg and I want my friends to drink it and
Yeah.
that's what that says.
Right, but I didn't know we were allowed to do that. I didn't- So,
Apparently in Moortown you can,
good to know.
but we can't. No, I think you stick with a caterer with a license.
Yeah.
Save them the trouble of
I think we'd be in for a whole
Yeah.
slew of
Yeah.
God knows what,
just
especially with those
one
stairs.
bullet. Get a caterer with a license,
But I've been to
have us named.
many funerals over there when the alcohol just is flowing.
I know, that's the thing.
And
It
there's no
happens.
caterer.
That's, in my experience,
Yeah.
it happens.
Yeah.
Because it's so cumbersome to make it happen, people just do it anyway. And then there is no insurance and there is no process. So I don't think it's a terrible idea.
People will just bring
Yeah.
They just bring
beer
it.
and wine.
Yeah,
And it's,
sure.
you know,
They just bring it. Or,
They just bring
or
it.
they bring spirits and they hide it in the cooler under all the things. You know, like it happens.
It
And
does.
so I don't think it's a bad thing. I think
if you ask permission, you won't get it.
you won't get it, so nobody
So
asks
don't
permission.
ask for permission.
So if there were a way to get permission and it were still a requirement of insurance and that's a fee and a process, then good. I don't know, that's my
That's Nick.
opinion. Why are we not allowing a cancellation and return of monies?
Again, just Moortown.
What do you guys think?
I mean,
Yeah, if you cancel,
Life
Sure.
happens, you know.
yeah,
I would return the money.
yeah.
I would return the money even
Yeah.
if it were the day before.
If we're
the
charging
event
money to
doesn't happen.
offset wear and tear
Right.
and cleaning,
Exactly.
and they don't come, then they didn't wear and tear and we don't need to clean, so I would give them their money back.
I'd give them their money back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would give them up until the day before the event.
Snowstorms happen, deaths happen,
Yeah.
accidents
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
I think
And if
their
it's not a
building's
money-making
bigger.
venture, I can see from a money-making
Yeah,
venture,
then
you wanna
the
be
demand
able
is higher.
to, you turn people
Yeah.
away, so now a
Right.
person canceling last minute, you've lost that revenue, but if it's
Exactly.
not about a revenue stream,
Then why do we care?
then,
Do we just want to take that out completely?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
forgot my glasses too.
Oh. So you guys can't see it?
No, I can
Or
read
should we
this
be
now.
reading it
No,
to
no, I
you?
can totally
Is that
see it.
why
No, I
you're
can see
not
this,
saying
I just
anything?
can't see that. I mean, I can see it, but it's a little fuzzy.
Okay, let's talk about this right of entry and termination piece, because I don't know, I've come from a world where like if you rent the space, it's yours. But this is a bit different than that.
I guess this would be if the alcohol's flowing and they don't have a
Yeah.
License.
license.
Yeah, well, who here
Somebody
has-
from the town,
Who here enforces?
Jeff.
Jeff, if Jeff gets a phone call,
Yeah.
people are out of control down here.
Yeah,
Okay.
he needs to
He
be,
needs the
have
right
the
to
legal
entry.
right to go in.
Yeah,
All right, yeah,
so we have to
sure.
keep that,
Okay,
yeah.
so we keep it. Conformance with the law. Yes,
Yeah.
do that. I like this.
So that needs to be
No.
changed
You
to.
just wanna change
Yeah.
that to war in there.
Yep.
It's all Moortown's fault.
Yes, I'll work on solving that.
No meth baking classes.
So why is that page 1?
It's just, the
Everything
pages are
is
messed
page
up,
one?
yeah. You know the formatting in Google Docs.
awful.
It's awful. I think it's a footer, yeah, it's a footer, so it needs to go. I will number the pages.
Cool.
Yeah.
I just don't think it should be approved by us.
Yep,
No.
I'll change that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good?
Thanks, Rebecca.
Nicely done. What's next?
Thank you, Moortown.
Thank you, Moortown, for letting us use your document. All right, other business.
Stop share. Is that what I do here?
Ay, ay, ay. Okay, do you have a town garage update? I wasn't here.
They are doing some engineering to determine the best place to lay the new pipe to the potential new well site. That was really the big update.
Right.
There's a lot of ideas, none of them particularly great. So they're working on what's going to be the most cost effective and
Okay.
trouble free.
Oh, this well situation. We had a great time dowsing
Yep.
with Dorothy. We had lots of fun. She
And I
was
think they're
super
also, they sent an email today about the screen for the fire pond and Grenier's,
$7,000 to $8,000
Yeah.
estimate for more engineering,
mhm.
which is really frustrating. I'm feeling really frustrated by that. Why
How
that
much does
wasn't
it cost to
included.
just upgrade it? Or do we have to hire engineers to upgrade it?
It seems like they want us to hire engineers for everything, which seems ridiculous, but I guess I
So,
understand. but-
yeah, like I don't know if they can do this, but in the past when we've had similar projects, we just did the thing
That you knew they were gonna tell you you
Yeah.
needed to do? Yeah.
and called it a day. That way we didn't spend 10 grand
Yeah,
on some
on the
guy
engineering.
drawing it.
Yeah.
Like just put in the upgraded screen.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to have that conversation with them. What do you guys think?
It's Brent. Sorry. I was like, what's that
It's a
noise?
bear!
Wouldn't
In the
surprise me.
dumpster! What do you guys think about that? Like just doing the work that we think needs to be done
Yeah.
instead of spending $7,000 to $8,000 on engineering the work we think needs to be done?
A big proponent of that.
Do we have somebody that we think could do it for us?
I don't know, but these are questions that we should ask.
Yeah.
Okay. MRVPD?
Sure. Jim and I are here, we can talk together. I've been to, 4 meetings, and the format is usually, there's a round table at the end, there's a presentation that takes up most of the time, and a staff update by Josh. And the presentations we've seen so far are, one was on Act 250 and how it applies to towns, one on municipal roads, back roads, with a demonstration of their website that shows intermittent and perennial waterways crossing the roads, and it's used as a tool for road foreman to be able to talk about how ditches are dug. And we had a presentation from Sugarbush, which every year they're required to give a presentation of the data of what has happened over the last year. And that is like sort of the large, over the time they have changed the data that they collect because they have different ways of collecting the data. So at one point they had to count every car in the parking lot on a specific day, and that was the metric that they used, but now they have RFID cards and they know how many cars are there, and they can use a drone and they can count all the cars too. So they have a better idea of max days, and they try to hopefully spread those max days and not have so many of them. And then there's water usage and electrical usage. I can't remember all the data that they presented.
Yeah, they kind of hit the wall on electrical usage that over the last 8 years, they've really taken it down quite a bit. And he kind of said, look, we've hit the floor here. We don't see a path to, less electrical usage up there.
Yeah.
So that was kind of interesting. And it was interesting to see that they were really focused on, cutting their power bill. And they did. And they did a really good job with it, actually. I was impressed.
Cool.
Yeah.
What was their-
So they showed some really good data there that
Did they talk about how they reduced the power bill?
a lot of it was,
So they went to more energy efficient snow guns, and then they've changed.
Lights off.
Exactly.
They've changed their. I think a lot of the lifts run on power, as opposed to they can be on diesel or electric.
Yep, they have the diesel backup.
And then, they have charging stations now for the battery powered cars. They had a whole bunch of different metrics.
It was just nice to see them focused on,
Reducing their
becoming
overall
energy
cost.
efficient and
There's a pen there.
Good.
Do you want the
no thanks.
minutes?
And then the other interesting data that they had was about housing and, where their employees live, where they come from, how many permanent residents they think they have here. It was in 20 to 30 people live here full-time that work up there. And it was just, on average, most of the people come from within 30 miles. So really it's, Roxbury, Rochester, Waterbury, and that was where, but they did have people, coming from Williston and things like that. That was interesting. They didn't mention any new focus on improved housing situations other than, what they've already done by buying up local inns and having those serve as kind of temporary housing.
Have they tabled the workforce housing plan? The large facility?
There was no mention of that.
So yes.
I have a feeling
Yes.
that-
Both of them. The big Hampton Inn one and
Yeah.
and the little
The little ones.
little
the
ones.
Family and executive housing.
And then Franny gave us preliminary information on the well-being survey. And then just sort of a preview of the data that's going to be available in September as they fully publish it. And that's.
Did they say they had their biggest skier day yet this year? Was that, I thought they
They had 10,000 people.
Yeah, they had their biggest,
They did, right? Yeah. Because I was there that day, and they were all talking. Oh, we had 10,000.
Wow.
That's a big deal. That's a lot of skiers.
That's a lot of people.
What about this regional plan public hearing situation with CVRPC? Is that something you guys are talking about?
Yeah, so that's about whether or not, and I think the planning commission will bring that to you, on whether or not Warren wants to opt into the tier 1B. And planning commission thinks it's a good idea because of redeveloping the town garage site would allow less Act 250 oversight of it if we opted in and then also went above the threshold of, 10 units. So if we were below 10 units, Act 50 doesn't kick in anyway, but if we chose to do like 14, we would be under their kind of jurisdiction. However, if we opted into the Tier 1B option of the land use map, we could kind of fold that piece of property into the village, the existing village that's already exempt from that. And so that's our thought was that's probably a good idea for us. However, you do have to think about, okay, what about the surrounding properties in the village? Do we want to include them or not include them? We didn't think there was a lot of opportunity there, at least when we looked at the map, that, hey, what about this 30-acre parcel here that's right next to the village? Are we going to kind of inadvertently, allow them to be exempt? So there's some thought there about, okay, does just that parcel, do we don't want to just include that parcel? We also floated the idea of, should we apply for a real village status up at Sugar Bush Village to try to give them a little bit more leverage or a little bit more opportunity to expand up there, with the vision of, hey, let's make that a real viable village.
Yeah.
So we're discussing that as far as the land use map. We could request from the LURB and Central Vermont that we do apply for that status. I don't think we're clear on whether or not we want to yet. My opinion, it's a good idea. I think that's a natural spot for more development and denser housing.
Yeah.
Because it already exists, and there's water up there. There's some roadblocks as far as cultural improvement and walkability that the LURB may say, no, you don't have great walkability up there, you don't have any cultural existence up there. I think we could win that argument if we wanted to, so.
Okay.
And with the path going in up there, that might
With the path
boost it.
and, if we really wanted to try to, turn that into a viable village again, maybe we do, maybe we don't. In my opinion, it's not a bad idea, but others should weigh in on that.
Okay.
And then each of these presentations has a slide deck that's available on the MRVBT or ED website under the, shows the packet that we get to see that has Josh and Franny's notes because they're, full-time employees. And so they are doing, Josh has a ton of work on the wastewater project. And so he has tons of information on that for Waitsfield. And then anything else they're doing with the map of riders or whoever else comes up in their purview shows up on that packet, and then the slide deck of whatever presentation we saw. So all that information's up on the website.
Okay.
And we meet 11 times a year. We're gonna take this.
Do we meet this year, this month?
We don't. This is the month we don't meet.
Good.
So.
Okay. Thank you. Pavilion events. I don't know. Do you have suggestions? Date to discuss pavilion events?
Well, we talked about having it not be a select board meeting.
Yeah. Oh, so Jim, from a planning commission perspective, would the planning commission be interested in having a conversation with the select board around how we envision the use of the pavilion and other outdoor events? Is that something that you feel like the planning commission could or should be involved in?
I will bring it up with the chair and see if we want to have a discussion.
Okay.
Sure.
And if you can fill them in a little bit on what you
Yeah.
know we've been experiencing and our desire to make sure we're having a broader community conversation and being mindful of how we move forward with events there. And then we could maybe come up with a plan of approach.
Okay.
So according to some of the people that I've talked to about, the events that happen there, it all started at the planning commission level. And so apparently things were promised, and they're not seeing those things happen. They haven't really gone into detail, but, so I think it's important for, you
Yeah.
know, the planning commission and the select board to come together and be a part of that.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I'd like to understand what we didn't deliver.
Right, exactly.
Who has that information?
I don't know if it's in previous minutes, Ruth maybe, I don't know, I don't know the answer to that.
No, I guess I'm more direct toward, somebody said we didn't deliver.
Some of the
what we
people
said.
that have complained about the events that happen in the pavilion.
I understand they've complained about the events, but what was not delivered?
I don't know the answer to that, they haven't shared that with me. So, I keep
Well, then
asking,
they
but.
can't argue about it if they can't tell you what we didn't do.
I think we just need to have a conversation
Yeah, sure.
with the community, and I think it would be a good idea to have the planning commission and the vision that, you know, has come along with the pavilion as part of that, which did not reside entirely with the planning commission, it was a joint effort anyway, so.
Yeah, that kind of predated me as to what.
Yeah, and it wasn't put
deliverables
forward
were.
by the planning commission, but we sought out the planning commission's input, so.
Yeah, okay. But we'll absolutely open vote on it.
And then think about like what kind of a day, what kind of a time would be good for you guys, and we think it should be a broader public conversation, maybe not at a select board meeting.
Okay, so, okay.
So maybe we'll do dates once we hear back
Yeah,
from the planning commission.
yeah,
I just want to keep it on our radar,
I do too.
because I keep getting asked about it.
Yeah, and I think maybe October is where it falls before budgeting season, sometime in October perhaps. Okay, West Hill Bank stabilization, how's it going?
It's good, it's going good. Kingsbury came and did all their clearing. GSI got behind on a previous project that they were doing before they came to Warren, but they're currently on site, and they said that it will be anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks. So they've been there, as of tomorrow, they'll have been there a week, because they started Wednesday of last week. But I think a lot of last year was just mobilizing and, you know, getting their equipment here. So, but they're keeping me updated. Hopefully Chris, Catherine, and I are gonna go up tomorrow in the town of Warren truck, so I can just touch base and just see what's going on up there. So, and I, you know, I'm getting lots of complaints about the road being closed or not being closed, and so that's where my posts have stemmed from, and it's just, it's hard.
The road's closed, we're fixing it,
Yeah,
deal with it.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
Thank you for your patience, everyone. Mine is ebbing. Awesome, great. We have a brief executive session for personnel that's been proposed. Would you like to make a
Yes.
motion?
did you want to talk about the
Oh,
contract with the library, with VIA? Or do you not want to do that tonight?
Did you all read it?
Yes,
Did you read Marie's responses?
I did.
Do you have any concerns?
I don't know.
Can we get a copy of that somehow?
Yeah, definitely.
It's just, it's more, I think she addressed it, but it's a lot of the ARPA funds that they requested.
Yeah,
From the group.
and I totally support the improvements that they want to make. I'm concerned that the contract is with the library in a building they don't own.
Right.
That's just
And that was my first,
logistically
yeah,
not okay.
right.
And to this conversation about community engagement and like what are we seeing in the building, it sounds like this firm is being engaged to do more than just those improvements. And I'm not opposed to that, but we also haven't asked for that.
Mhm.
So I was just a little surprised, I think. What do you guys think?
I mean, she did say she was gonna run everything by the select board before they do anything. So I guess I wasn't as
Yeah,
surprised.
didn't she kind of ask for somebody to be like a liaison?
In her follow-up, she says they'd
In the
like to put
follow-up.
together a committee and then
Yeah.
hopefully a select board member will be part of that. So I think it's a good idea. I think
Yeah.
it's a good process. I'm
Yeah.
certainly not saying I don't. It was just more than what I was expecting to be seeing and reading at this very time. Are we okay with that? I mean, it's gonna,
Who's gonna pay for all these renovations? Is that part of the library?
well, no, I think that's the thing, is there's this big grand vision, but there hasn't been a conversation
Mhm.
about
Budget?
costs and
Yeah.
budget.
So what they asked for ARPA funding was to get an architect in there
Right.
to give them drawings, and so I think she explains that in her,
Right.
response, so. But yeah, there hasn't been, I know that there's some capital money for the library building, but I don't think it's enough to do big renovations.
Well, and the process with VIA doesn't necessitate that we do
Right.
large renovations, and it could help drive a lot of the conversations that we're already having about the kitchen. So I do genuinely think it's a good idea. I think that the contract needs to be with the town of Warren, and I would be interested in at least having a conversation with them. I don't know. I think it's like bare minimum for me, it's just the contract has to be with the town of Warren. And maybe it's with the, both. But we have to sign off on things, and I guess financially they're taking the responsibility, so we need to figure out how to do that.
Right.
Just for the architect
Yeah,
fees.
that's what currently
Yeah,
they've,
that's right. Yeah.
But, so what are we going to ask the architect to design?
well, we don't know.
Yeah.
They have
Okay,
asked the
that's-
architect,
that's-
right.
yeah.
And that was one of my questions too, which is like, wait, what are we doing here?
Yeah, you
Because
want-
it sounded from the architectural proposal that we're like renovating the entire building. What the library has asked for is help specifically with accessibility, lighting, and quiet meeting spaces. And so I think Marie's response is saying, what a library has changed significantly in the last, I don't know how long, but decades at least. And it's now a space where people come to work on computers, to have a Zoom meeting, to work remotely, to do all kinds of different activities, not just check out books. So what does that mean for this building as a community center?
Okay. Yeah, that-
And the proposal from VIA, just to be clear, is, I think, awesome. Like, I thought it was a great proposal. I like what they're bringing to the table. I like the way they talk about it. I love the community engagement piece. So let's figure out
So we should set up a committee, or they should set up a committee and
Yeah.
include one of us
yeah,
on it.
definitely. And let's just make sure that contractually there's sign off from us.
Yep.
But financially responsible is the library. Thank you, sorry. Okay. Do we have a motion to move into executive session?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?